Hey everybody, John the Other here, obviously. Now I've just watched a video from a channel I subscribe to called The Real News. And that's a good channel to subscribe if you haven't heard of them. Check them out. I'll put a link in the low bar. But this is a video of theirs just uploaded today called A Campaign to Demand Canada Post Deliver a New Green Economy. Now, right off the bat, that title should have you scratching your head. Canada Post to deliver not just mail and packages, but a green economy. What? This sounds like the plan of a lunatic. It turns out that Elizabeth May of the Canadian Green Party and a woman named Katie Mckenna, who is the author of something called the LEAP Manifesto. Now, anytime I see anything written that includes the word manifesto, I'm immediately suspicious. Because the only people who write manifestos are maniacs, lunatics, the Unabomber. It turns out that Elizabeth May of the Canadian Green Party and a woman named Katie Mckenna want to turn Canada's postal service into a bank, into a banking service. Well, not just a bank. They want to also have it still be the postal service and also be the bank and be the center of commerce for every little small town all across Canada and all the big cities too, and the center of information and the center of social activity. They want to turn all the post offices in Canada into banks. Now, this is alarming for a number of reasons. The simplest and the most obvious, the most obvious reason is that most post offices in Canada are franchise outlets, meaning it's like a little card shop or a little small pharmacy or in a 7-Eleven, and they have franchised a post office. They have got a franchise license, so they put a little post office in their business, and they lose money on that, by the way. They provide postal services to the local community, which is good, and the business that hosts it typically loses money on providing the postal services, but they balance that out by getting more traffic into their business, whatever it happens to be, a 7-Eleven or a little card shop or a pharmacy or whatever. So they benefit by having more business come in, but the post office itself loses money. Now, they also already provide some financial services because Canada Post Corporate requires them to. And that's where they lose money. And they get defrauded. And they get robbed. And because they're little mom and pop businesses, little card shops, little small 35-year-old pharmacies run by families or whatever, they don't have a corporate culture of being a financial services institution, and they don't have the physical security infrastructure of a bank, which has the money and the power of a bank behind it. They're little, tiny, independent mom and pop businesses who right now are already required to do money transfers and MoneyGrams and stuff like that, which exposes them to the risk of robbery and the risk of fraud, which happens quite a bit. Turning them into banks takes this problem and dials it up to 75,000 all the way around the dial. It completely puts the employees of these little tiny mom and pop businesses into, I would say, business closing danger. Like, so much danger that I think a lot of people will leave those businesses because it's so dangerous once you become a full-on bank in a little tiny mom and pop business when you're a franchise outlet and the post office itself loses you money. Now, that's just the simplest and first and most obvious problem with this plan. The second obvious problem is that as a user of a bank or a credit union or any other financial services provider, I don't want my bank being run by the government. Now, Canada has a central bank, which, creates the money and stuff like that. But the bank that I bank at isn't the government. The bank is a business who serves me. I don't want my government, who I don't trust and don't like, running my bank. That's Orwellian in the extreme. It's terrifying. It's horrifying. If you don't think that's a problem, there may be something wrong with your brain. The third problem is this is the Green Party, which is a super liberal, lefty, hardcore socialist bunch of ideological utopian wackos And they want to make every little post office, which are private businesses, they want to force a mandate onto them to put basically government employees, essentially their union buddies, into the control of the center of commerce and information and culture and business in every little small town. You think Canada is socialist now? This is the socialist dystopic future. This is like hyper super socialism. Now, if you're a socialist, yahoo, great. But if you're not, if you value your liberty, if you value your freedom to make choices, well, then this is a bit of a problem. Elizabeth May, you're an irresponsible, jackass, idiot, moron. For everybody else who's not a total idiot, thank you for watching and have a lovely day.